Okay. Looks like we're cutting this down into 2 videos. So anyhow, because I got to figure all this stuff out on this screen here because I couldn't get it to turn around. Anyhow, all right. So when you turn the screen on, you've got your home screen here. Your home screen has whatever you want on it. To change this home screen in these first 3 here, then you just go to the menu and monitoring. Excuse me. Go to monitoring, and these top 3 are the 3 that show on the home screen. You just hit customization, and then you can pick the one that you want, and then hit edit, and then go to the one that you want to choose, accept it, and then it's there. The FiO2 should be rolling around and picking up here pretty soon. Okay, so that's how you set the home page there for what you want. For therapy, you have, these are all your modes that you can use. You have ventilation, oxygen, cough assist, suction, and nebulizer. Let's go into ventilation. Okay, so you'll notice that there are 3 different prescriptions, they call them, that you can actually use. All right, so you have, and you can name them whatever you want to name them. When you want to change one, though, you have to actually be in a different mode of ventilation to go to that mode and change the mode of ventilation. For instance, if I'm in BiPAP over here, which is what it's running in, was running in, but now right now it's running in AC. So if I want to change this, I have to go over here and start this mode of ventilation. And then because it's going into BiPAP, it wants me to do a pre-use check. So then I have to go back into the other mode of ventilation and go to settings and alarms over here on the side. And now I can change this mode of ventilation. Okay. If I'm not in that mode of ventilation, then if I hit the settings and alarms over here, and now I'm in that bi-level one that was in there in the middle, notice that it's a lighter color, so I can't change it because I'm actually in that mode of ventilation and it won't let me do it. Okay, you can also change these and hide them if you want. Like if I'm not using this one over here that says wean, I can go in, and where it's set up here, I can go over to edit, and I can disable it so that it doesn't show up anymore. And then I can go right back out again. And now it's only going to show those 2. To make ventilator changes, when you are in the mode that you're not using, you can go in, you can change your mode of ventilation. Now in the modes of ventilation, you have to choose adult, pediatric, will always be an adult. And here we have to choose if we're going to use a active with O2 circuit, which is what we're using today right now, or a passive circuit. Okay, the passive circuit was the other circuit that I showed you. We won't be using any of these others. We may use the passive with O2 because that means that it would have this piece right here with it, but not this. But as of right now, we're just using the passive. Okay, so you would choose that as well from this screen. And then you can go down and set respiratory rate. You can set tidal volume. But, oh, something else I wanted to say about modes of ventilation. If we go back up to AC and volume here. If we go in here, notice that there is no CPAP here. So when you want CPAP mode, you have to actually be in SIMV volume, okay, and set the EPAP, or excuse me, set the PEEP. And the PEEP is your CPAP, and you have a backup rate. You can turn the rate to 0, or you can turn it to like 2 or 3 or whatever. That's the way the CPAP mode works on this ventilator. So you go down, look at your volumes, PEEP, flow trigger, which is your sensitivity, apnea, backup, leak compensation, And then down into your alarms, you can set all your high and low alarms here for your respiratory rate, minute ventilation, inspiratory pressure. Be aware that on the inspiratory pressure, of course I'm not going to set it at 69, I'm going to leave it there for now because I'm not going into it. But on the inspiratory pressures, if your inspiratory pressure, like for instance you got to go to here, and if I hit L for low, I want to make sure that it's on, and then I can put in the number that I want to set it at. You gotta make sure that it's highlighted. And then accept. And then your high minute ventilation, you have to make sure that it's on. And set your high minute ventilation. Okay, and then you have your high peak, low peak, and your other alarms. Okay, so once that's done, you have that set, you can go back. And so we're still in the active mode that where we were before when we were putting our settings in. So now what I'm going to do is go back to this mode that I actually want to be in now. So verify the circuit configuration and press OK. So I am in my correct circuit configuration because I'm not in BiPAP anymore. But it wants me to do another pressure test, which I would do, but I'm not going to do it right now because I've already showed you how to do it once. So now it's saying high pressure, so now I'm going to have to go back and actually go in here and change my high pressure alarm. Inspiratory pressure. Because now it doesn't allow me to give get my pressures. So I can't get my volume. You just have to keep pressing it until it gets to the right one. Here we go. Okay. So if I go back out and go into O2, there are different options, and this is the same way. You can't set the one that you want. You have to be in another prescription to go and set this prescription. I'm going to set this one here. I'm going to hit settings and go in, and I can set internal compressor. Now I can use the internal compressor now because this is here. But if it wasn't, then I wouldn't be able to use the internal compressor. And that'll go to 6 liters per minute if I edit it. And there I can change it to external high pressure, internal O2, or low O2. The low O2 is what's going to be bled into the back on that nipple adapter I was showing you. And then in addition to that, you can, like I was saying, you can go in and do external high flow from the wall. And it'll go up as high as 100%, and you can set your high alarm for O2 and your low alarm for O2. Your cough assist, when you want to turn them on. Enable prescribed therapies. Somebody has disabled the cough assist, so you can go in and edit it and actually enable or disable that parameter. Go back into therapies. There's your cough assist. Again, you can go in and set a high-low inspiratory, expiratory cough assist. You go in and set, you can preset 3 different ones. Inspiratory, expiratory, the insufflation time, exsufflation time, the cycle. Make sure it's in sync with the breath. and if you want it to do cough and suction at the same time. Yes or no? And those are all under the settings there. So now if I go into monitoring, when I go into monitoring, this shows the patient triggered settings here. So those aren't the set settings, those are patient triggered. And I go down, and these are the ones that are actually set, what I'm actually using at the time. So if I go back up, like I was telling you before, these first three can be set under customization to make your home screen. And the rest over here can be configured by, and you can go in and change them to show whatever it is that you want to see, that you want to be up there. You can go into waveforms, and you can see your waveforms. And then once you get over here to menu, if you ever need to go in and do your pre-use check again, then you hit pre-use check if you're going to end up changing circuits. And remember, it's going to do the circuit check for whatever circuit is actually set. Whatever mode of ventilation that it's set at. So if you're on a BiPAP, then you need to make sure that you have the passive circuit and that it's set in BiPAP for the mode. This is another way to get to your settings and alarms. Device settings. Okay. There's a log of all your alarms. You can also get to that by going to this recent alarms up here in the left hand corner. This top screen up here shows you what modes of ventilation are actually on and you're using, what things you're using, what volume oxygen that you're using, and then it shows you your mode of ventilation. This is a feature that you can lock everything for clinician access. It's this button here, and if that gets locked, then you have to go into my VOSCN, and these last four numbers of the serial number here are the code to unlock that. So I recommend that we don't even use that for now, because there is a screen lock. If you hold it for 3 seconds, it's going to be a screen lock, okay? And then you hold it for 3 more seconds and it unlocks. Screen unlock. And then here's your batteries. These are just permissions. You can go in and manipulate those. I don't see us doing that too often. And then enabling your prescriptions, enabling for your FiO2 nebulizer, nebulizer function, cough, O2 concentration. Okay? Alright, so now if I want to change over to my BiPAP, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in therapy, so I can change over to BiPAP. Then I'm going to have to do a circuit test as soon as I get done with it. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for a minute. Okay. And then I'm going to take this off, put my BiPAP circuit on. And turn it back on. Now that, since I switched to the BiPAP, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make sure my therapy says I'm in bi level. Okay. And then it's going to send me to the test for bi level for the BiPAP. So now I can start that test. Since I'm in the right one, it's going to test the right circuit. and I'm going to block it without blocking the exhalation. Okay, good. So now it passed. I'll put it going to the test lung real quick. Okay, now that I have it on here, I'm making sure that I'm in bi-level here, okay? And now just when you go to O2 now, because this is not connected, it doesn't have the O2 mode, it's not passive with O2. So all I'm going to be able to use is external high pressure O2, or to bleed in O2 back here at the nipple adapter under, and then change it to the low flow. I'd have to change it to either low flow internal, this is not going to work, or the external high, so I can only use external high, or the low O2 for this, because for the BiPAP, because it doesn't have the O2 connector, or the O2 here, okay? Now, as an example, if I go in here and I'm set this and I want to start my cough assist, as an example, I want to show you. Suction. See on this one where it says starting suction therapy will pause oxygen therapy. So, and that's where you, since we're running on the external right now from the wall, we'd have to make sure this was hooked up and running it, you know, about 10 liters per minute or whatever O2 your patient needs, because it's going to shut off when I go and try to do the suction, same as if I was to go and do the nebulizer. Okay, so hope you guys learned something about this. I'm going to be around if you have any questions. Also, you can give me a call. Okay, thank you.